always say, I've been around a long time and I've had disappointments in my career and not only not lifting a World Cup, I've had many disappointments in my cricketing career. I've had many successes as well. I have no regrets, and so I don't walk around, in some pain or something. This is a completely different thing. I'm more happy for these boys. I mean, for them, it's as a coach, there's only so much you can control, and like I told them, and I think, one of my messages to them when we finished, and I think from the whole support staff we said, that we can only do so much, we can only prepare you well, we can only give you practice, we can do all the planning, we can set the thing up, we can prepare you for 12, 13, 14 months, but, knowing it as a player myself, in the end of the day, as a coach, you're very dependent on the performance of your players, on the execution of your players. I mean, we can make all the plans we want. If the bowlers don't execute on the day, and if they don't pitch the ball in the right areas, or the batsmen don't bat well, as a coach, once the game starts, there's very little you can do, right? So, from my perspective, it's, I actually know the impact a coach can have. I'm realistic about the impact coaches have. I think it's an important role, don't get me wrong. I think this important role, not only me, but the whole support staff plays. But I think we are pretty realistic about the real impact that we have. And the credit is really these players. They're the ones who face up. They're the ones who stand up in pressure games. They're the ones who stood up and shown maturity beyond their years. They're the ones who've not relaxed at any stage in this tournament. They're the ones who've made the sacrifices. They're the ones who've actually put in the performances. They're the ones who've spent, hours in the gym. They're the ones who's pushed us to make them practice more. So the credit is entirely theirs, and I'm really happy for them. Yeah, I think you got to ask them, man. I don't think they're listening to me too much. Yeah, we had some loose curfews. Look, I think we had some kind of loose curfews. Sometimes the boys would follow it, sometimes they just skinch a bit, which is fine. They're teenagers, and I've been a teenager myself, and No, like I said earlier, I think I answered that. In one of the things that I answered that question to say that I think what's really impressed me is the level of maturity that these boys have, the exposure that they have, the confidence levels that this generation of players has. They're also faced with many different challenges. I think one of the things is in an age of media and Instagram and all of these things, that so many things that I'm not even aware of, or stuff that they're constantly on. I think and that's in its own way brings its own level of challenges. It brings its own level of scrutiny and media attention, and they're having to deal with it, and they're finding their own sort of ways in dealing with it. We do talk to them about it, and there were times when I had to come in and say once or twice that look, let's sort of not because I felt it was going out of hand, because especially I think that week during the IPL auction was a bit of a stressful week a little bit, because we have to be realistic about it. You have to understand that sometimes people's minds will go there, but I think credit to the boys that fine, we accepted the fact that they were going to be watching the IPL auction, or at least following it on whatever they follow it on. But once that was done, they came back to practice and they were switched on. So that was, I'd say, the only 2 or 3 days in which I was a little bit worried, but credit to them, they responded really well to that as well. But yeah, as far as keeping up with them, I'm not sure I'm keeping up with them.
Thank you, Rahul bhai. Thank you, Prithvi.
Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon and never miss updates from Sangaton Bharat News.